Everyone. Welcome to the weekly CharmVerse Twitter space. I'm Xandra, and I'm the community manager for CharmVerse. CharmVerse is a Web3 community platform for managing members, coordinating tasks, facilitating decisions, and holding each other accountable. Members sign in with crypto wallets and gain access via community tokens and NFTs. It brings together onboarding, payment management, proposals, project trackers, and data repositories all in one place. So the last few weeks, we've been talking DAOs, and we're going to keep rolling with that theme. So this week, we're chatting with Mica from Hyyp Cartel, and I personally really love what they're doing over there and happy to be sharing this project with you guys. So, Mica, thanks for joining me today.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me. This is amazing, and I'm very, very excited to talk with you. And thank you everyone for
Yeah,
joining. It's very nice
yeah.
to see you
Yeah,
all.
and we chatted, what was that, last week or the week before? And you were an absolute pleasure. So, again, I'm excited to tell everyone about Hyyp Cartel, what you're doing, and how it operates. So, before we jump in, let's broadly talk about what a social impact DAO is, in case our listeners missed some of our other series or just are not familiar. So, can you tell us broadly what that means?
Of course, I am not an expert, so if anyone if anyone sees that my definition is wrong or lacks anything, like please let me know. I've been learning since I got into the space. Um, but yeah, so what I know of a DAO is that is this decentralized organization where the decision making and the structure of authority is actually distributed within the members. So instead of relying on just one person making all the decisions, we do it as a community. um, we at Hyyp are not officially a DAO, but we do take many of the characteristics of one. Um, but I think that DAOs are a very interesting new way of organizing communities and organizations in a way that is not just one or a small group of people making the decisions, and but it's more of a team effort. Because what happens when one person or a small group of people have to make these decisions? First of all, like it is kind of a pressure to have to make all the decisions, and sometimes um, people will make the wrong ones without malicious intent. But also sometimes having all that power can be a bit overwhelming, and it tends to, I don't know, it can change some people. So I think that having this power be just distributed within the community and getting to being able to hold each other accountable of our decisions and um, it makes it more transparent on where the things go, like where the money goes and what is being done with it, what is the goal of the organization. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thanks for breaking that down. Yes, I think a lot of people have different definitions. You know, I was trying to define public goods DAO the other day, and then social impact DAO, and I think we're kind of figuring it out as we go for a lot of these. Okay, so
Yeah, like
let's.
most
Oh,
of
go ahead.
Web3, I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
No, that yeah, it is. I think most of what we're doing with Web3 is we're figuring it out as we go, and we're shaping it. We're shaping the road as we cross it.
100%. And that's why it's so exciting. Web3, you know, like you said, we're shaping it as we figure it out. And it's up to us to define some of these terms and figure out how it's all going to work going forward. So let's dig into Hyyp Cartel. Tell us about the mission behind Hyyp Cartel.
Absolutely. So our mission is to create this community of people who are obsessed with social impact and set the trend for collective action on the space. And there's three types of social impact that we want to tackle. Two are about personal development, and the other one is more on the external impact. And a lot of things in life have to do with habits and intentions, and we want to build the habit of giving. Nadim explains it in a very funny way, as flexing the social impact muscle. Like any other muscle, you need to train it and you need to do it constantly in order to see results. And so we want to build this habit of giving, and of making action. And so, like, there's sometimes when they're in communities where there's lots of needs or a lot of requests, you kind of get on the habit of saying, okay, I'm already giving. And at some point, you keep saying it even when you're not. And so we want to change that into making it a habit of giving together, even if it's a small amount. And eventually, like, as we go forward, we want to have kind of like a vetting system, and evaluation system to really see when something is real, because sometimes uh, there's scams and that seem like a charity and they're really not. So we want to get good at evaluation, but also at collective and individual giving. The second type of social impact is doing charity with our hands. So sometimes we kind of wash away our obligations and give to charity without really knowing where the money is going. And we end up having a very arm's length relationship with social impact. And what we want to actually have is to let everyone have a direct relationship with it and understand the scale of the problems that the world is facing. So we want to get good at social impact with our hands. So the first one is giving for the habit of giving, even if it's not a lot. And the second one is to show up for a social impact in your area, even if it's not really effective. And the third one, which was like the external impact, is about effective altruism. So you need to get good at the first two in order to get to the third one. And this one is about evaluating the amount of money and time you want to give on a monthly or annual basis, and how do we evaluate where to put that to do effective impact. So we want to be in a situation where we are helping each other think where to give and how to give together, such that our money and time has the more impact. So we're not going to be giving to Hyyp Cartel, but we are creating a platform within the app that we're making to create initiatives. So everyone will be able to take collective action in a distributed way, so that everyone can take can do short initiatives or longer initiatives kind of at the same time. And this way, we build a habit of doing social impact, and this impact is not just on ourselves but also on others. So it creates this personal development, personal growth that eventually translates to the people around us.
I love that. I love everything you just said. Flexing the social impact muscle, and people being comfortable donating their time or money to something that's not a scam, and they can believe that. And also having it be a habit, both personally but also as a community. And I think that helps hold people accountable, right? If you're part of that community, you do have this sense of obligation. You don't want to let your community down. But also, you don't want to let yourself down. And I think it's also really important to touch on the personal development and growth as well. So, love it all. When did this project get started? How long has Hyyp Cartel been moving and shaking?
So it started around the beginning of this year, around February of 2022. But it's been on the works since before that. I think the all of the experiences that Nadim has gone through eventually brought him here and to create Hyyp Cartel. And we were talking the other day, and he was explaining about how social media and the technology should have created and should have had this idea, this want for creating a social network where we actually get to connect humans and do collective work. Like this, the tools for that have been around for years, and he's always wondered, like, why is that social network has not been created yet. And so eventually he came into the Web3 in 2017 and brought his life experiences. He was a counsel for the city of Cambridge, and he did lots of works for activities for the arts, for affordable housing. And So yeah, like, and he kind of brought all of those experiences and started working in on the Web3 to bring all those things together, bring this technology, bring this community, um, culture, and the art, design, and project management to create this social network that we're making today.
Yeah, I was, researching Hype Cartel, and I was looking at the team, and Nadim's past is really cool. A lot of really cool stuff that he's been working on. And from, yeah, directing a hit music video, if anyone's familiar with the band OK Go, to the city councilor role, and just doing great things out there. So definitely go check them out. You can find it on hypecartel.com to learn more about that and the rest of the Hype Cartel team. So let's break it down even further. Some of the key aspects of Hype Cartel. So you work with a curated membership, right?
We do, we do. So we're an invite only community, and at first we were the ones sending out the invites to the people that we felt aligned with our vision. We felt that had those same values, and that we trusted were here for the social impact. And we got to our first milestone, which was to reach 133 OGs, who are now nominating and inviting the people that they want to share the community with, and that they also trust, and that they also know have this same obsession for social impact. And with this nominations, we're going to get to a council of 500, and then those 500 are going to invite and nominate 9 to 10 people each until we get the final 5,000 members. So yes, this is the way we're curating the community to make sure that each and every one of the members is someone that we trust and that we know have those values aligned as we do.
I love how you're doing that. I think it's great. You have these people that you trust, and having them nominate someone just kind of builds this community of, in theory, exactly the people you want involved in this project. So I think that's a great way to do it. So you said you have your 133 OGs. So where are you right now with the council?
Right now, we are reaching 150 OGs, and we are having nominations each day. And it's been a really nice way of connecting once again with the community. So we're doing nominations through one-on-one meetings. So we get to catch up with all of the members. We talk about our lives and go over the nominations, and it's been really a really nice experience. So I'm the one that usually has the meetings with all the new people. So I've gotten to meet really amazing people, and again, getting to connect with the OGs on a one-on-one basis is really unique. I've gotten to catch up with a lot of them.
Yeah, I like that process. I mean, it reminds me of what I get to do with these Twitter spaces. I feel so fortunate to be able to talk to amazing people about amazing projects every week, and build my own community, build the CharmVerse community, and just learn about what's out there. And I feel really fortunate that I'm able to do that. So I think that's a great system to be able to kind of vet people, I would say, in real life, but over Zoom, see how they talk about their life, their energy and all that stuff. So I think that's a great process.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice too. We usually do all these meetings over Zoom so that we can connect as fellow humans, which is sometimes that aspect is sometimes missing on the space, and it's really nice to build those connections.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about some core values. What would you say the core values of Hype Cartel would be?
I think one of the main values that we have is reliability. That is something that we value a lot, and we ask. We want to show reliability as a community, externally, and we also, to get that, we ask that of our OGs and of our members. For example, we check reliability through participation and engagement. One of the things that we ask, pretty much like the only thing that we ask of our OGs, is for 60 minutes of engagement a week of participation, and that's how we get not just to check reliability, but also to really build the connections of the community. That way, everyone gets to engage with each other, they get to know each other. And that's how collaborations get made. That's how friendships get made, because really so many friendships have bloomed inside the community, and it's really beautiful. Another of the values, of course, is being obsessed with social impact. That is what brought us all together. And pretty much respect. I think that is something that needs to be a value for any community, because being a community of so many people will always bring discussions. We all have different personalities, different skills, different opinions. So as long as we have respect as one of our core values, and we know how to discuss and communicate with respect, everything can go a lot more smoothly.
Absolutely. I recently looked over some of these core values and just kind of an outline for being part of this community, and it really resonated with me. And I think so many things I want to say about that, but respect, whether it's how you address people, whether it's sharing ideas, and there's a difference of opinions, which there's always going to be, but there's always a way to address those issues or differing opinions with respect. We're all humans. Let's treat each other as such. So I think that's great. Another big thing I found, and I know you said you're not really a DAO currently, but when I am talking to DAOs, a lot of times that is the first thing people talk about, is the community and the relationships, and then the budding friendships that come out of them. And I just love that that is a point that is constantly reiterated with all the people I speak to. It's just the relationships. And the other thing is the 60 minutes as far as the reliability. How's that been working out? Do you find that your current members are able to keep up with that? Because it seems very reasonable.
A lot of the members have it. It is one of the we were talking with Nadim, and it is one of the hardest things to do. Not just like a lot of the people I talk to are impressed, and they're like, I love how you're asking people to do the 60 minutes, because it's hard to get a community to engage and to be participating, because everyone and almost everyone on the space is part of a lot of communities. They all have their own projects, their own lives. Like some are doing also have Web 2 jobs, and it's a lot to juggle with. Um, but the way we're doing it is we're not just asking the OGs to do the 60 minutes on one sitting, but we created different activities that everyone can participate in, and so that everyone can choose the way that they can they can give those 60 minutes the best way, the way that it's better for them. We want to make it easy and fun, but also check reliability through it. And there's also the Hyyp Guts, the community activating team, which I'm part of, that we try to help the OGs. So if anyone ever has an emergency, or they have a super busy week, they can let us know, and we try to organize either one-on-one meetings or try to work something out so that they can still make it to the requirement. And Titus, who is also here, hey Titus, explained it the other day as it being a very permissionless community. So we try to encourage the OGs to take leadership and to participate in whatever way they want. So we have different departments where everyone can participate and take leadership. But if there's anything, like if there's any department that they'd like to see that hasn't been created yet, we encourage the OGs to go ahead and let the Hyyp Guts know, and we try to bring that into fruition. Like go and create that department, take that leadership.
Yeah, take the initiative. And that's what I hear also a lot from DAOs. It's we want you to feel this sense of ownership. You are a member of this, and take the initiative. If you have an idea, throw it out to the community, see what people think. I think it's great to say 60 minutes and kind of give people a guideline as far as the amount of time that is expected of them. Fine if they want to go above and beyond, but I think that's great, because I think some people think, oh, I don't have time to join a DAO, or what's it going to entail? I think giving that guideline of, what we want from you is 60 minutes of your week. I think that's great. And it just helps people manage their expectations. So great idea on that. Um, when we're talking about core values, one of the things you say, I believe it's on the website, but also Twitter, is you have to be obsessed with social impact and economic opportunity in NFTs and Web3. So, just top of mind, what kind of economic opportunity comes to mind with that statement?
Well, one of the things that we explain is that we want to enable effective marketing. So that's why we're making this community in a way that we trust each of the members, that we know that we have each other's backs. So we are getting reliable stakeholders, and that way, whether it's like, I don't know, we're all going to hype a certain project. And we know and we trust that we're all going to go do it together, and it's going to be a project that we've all kind of like decided that we like. It's kind of like that way. Of course, social impact is our main priority, though. But
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, but you obviously want to also have funds coming in and all that as well, so you can do the good you want to do. How did you get involved with Hyyp?
that is a funny story. So we have we joke with the other hype gods that it was pretty much meant to be. Um, I was because it's one of those times where everything kind of aligned and fell into place. I was looking for a job and I saw the opportunity of Hyyp that was looking for an interviewer. And I love talking and getting to meet new people. And I saw it and I was like, I love this. And then I got to investigate. I had the meeting with Marianne, who's here, and Nadim, and I saw the Hyyp Cartel website, and I saw that they were about social impact and doing collective action, and I was like, wow, I get to work at this really cool place where the the goal is to create social good. So it really fell into place, and now after 5 months, I've gotten to meet really incredible people. The hype guts are amazing, and I am now officially the spokesperson for Hyyp. The reason I'm here talking on the space, and I'm kind of like this connection between Nadim and the OGs, and the OGs and Nadim. So it's been really fun, and I love it.
That's great. I think you're the face essentially of Hyyp, right? Because you're the first person someone meets. Um, your presence on these Twitter spaces and other things like that. Um, and like I said, when I first spoke with you, you were an absolute pleasure. So I think you're a great person for that role.
Oh, thank you. And yes, I guess I am the first person, the first face that everyone sees.
Yeah, yeah.
Intimidating, but
Yeah.
fun.
You're getting a couple shout outs and loves down there from some friends. So I love it.
Thank you,
So
everyone.
let's talk about the NFT minting process. Have you started that process yet, or are you waiting to curate your final 5,000?
Yeah, we haven't started the minting process. We are going to wait until we have a couple thousand members first, because the NFTs are more about the access than the money making aspect. So the NFTs are gonna be for the 5,000 members, and they're gonna give you access to the app, and that's where we're gonna wait for a couple more members until we start minting.
Okay, that you just jumped into my next question. I was going to say, so you become a member, you have your couple thousand at that point, you mint your NFT, right? And so you will pay to mint that, but it's more about the membership and how the token's going to be used rather than the funds specifically at that point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Will there be a public mint at all, or is it just going to be kept for members?
I don't think there's going to be a public mint. Like I said, we do want to bring the community to the discussion. And so we actually have some NFT dynamics meetings where we talk about these things, and we are deliberating exactly how the mint is going to be done, on what platform, and everything. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be a public mint. I think it's more for the 5,000 people.
Okay, cool. The art is really great. I really love it. Everyone should go check out Hyyp Cartel because the art's fantastic and it represents different roles within the DAO. So first of all, shout out to the artist. Who's doing the artwork?
So it was kind of a team effort. It was mostly created by Nadim and Susan. Susan is our co-founder, along with some members and a bunch, like a mix of artists from Nimblebot. It was a team effort, but really the ones that were guiding and managing everything were Nadim and Susan.
Well, great job. Kudos to them. It's great. It's really fun. Let's talk about the roles. Will you tell us the different roles you have within the DAO and what they mean?
Yes. So the NFTs haven't been assigned certain roles yet.
Sorry, I keep
But they
saying
do.
DAO. Sorry,
Oh,
everyone.
no worries, no worries.
Okay.
But they do have a specific personality, so the roles are probably going to be aligned with that. For example, we have the nerdy night owl, which is the innovator and the degen, or we have the hot hyena, who's more of the influencer, but actually focused on matters of substance. Yes, their names are amazing and they crack me up.
Me too.
The one that I have as a profile picture, the one that I chose is the revolutionary rat, and she's like the social entrepreneur and who is obsessed with social impact and is willing to burn it all down to build it back right again. So she's kind of what I would like to embody. We also have the tastemaker toucan, which is more of the detail oriented person. We have the illuminati iguana, which is more of a mystery. Like literally, if you go into the app, it's question sign, question sign, question sign. So you can do with that what you will. Um, and yeah, they're really amazing. They all have that unique personality and a very human aspect to them, because even though they all have something that made them successful, they also have something that they need to work on. So it's easy to get related to at least one of them.
Yeah, I think anyone could identify with any of them, if not multiple of them, which makes it extra fun too, to kind of figure out who you would be. Um, so can you share? Oh, go ahead.
I actually had the idea of making. I'm obsessed with quizzes, with personality quizzes, and I've had the idea of making a personality quiz to see which of the NFTs you would be. Um, I don't know how to execute it, but it's a dream of mine.
I like that. I would definitely take one. So can you share with us some of the efforts that the community has been working on or plans to work on?
Yeah, so one of the most exciting things that is going on right now is that we are organizing our first initiative as a community. So we've recently sent out a survey to all of our OGs to see what areas of social impact everyone is more interested in. Even though on the app, everyone will be able to propose multiple initiatives and participate in multiple initiatives. And so we won't have to really focus on just one area, but tackle more. Until we have that initiative, that app, we're organizing that initiative with the members of Hyyp, and we are collecting the data of the survey and organizing that first initiative. So that is one of the things that I'm very excited about, because it's literally what we're here for. But we've also recently, one of our OGs, Rachel, who I don't know if she's here or not, but she's amazing. She founded the X Collective, and she recently brought forward an opportunity to help her kind of an initiative that her sister kind of brought forward, and we got to organize that and get together as a community to collaborate with that. So it's been really, really nice.
That sounds great. I know Rachel. I don't know that she's in here either, but she's fantastic. She's actually the person that introduced me to Hyyp Cartel, and shout out to Rachel. What she's
She
doing
really
with
is
X
amazing.
Collective. She was one of my first guests when I started these Twitter spaces, so can't say enough good things about her. Yeah, so we talked about it a little bit earlier about the whole personal development, and I love that you're focusing on individual members, as well as the collective, of course, but the individual members as far as personal development or education. Um, What are some other areas that you're helping individual members like that?
So we do one of the things that we do for personal growth, besides getting to connect each other, we have made some focus group meetings, educational focus group meetings. For example, one of our ROGs, she did a whole meeting on security, which was very interesting and very very helpful. I think it's a very important thing. We also do focus meetings on our OGs, like if ROGs have a project and they need help with that or they need feedback, we can do focused meetings focused on them so that we can all pitch in and help them. Um, and once and with the app, the idea is that, like, by building this social impact muscle, flexing the social impact muscle, like I was saying before, you get that also, that kind of personal growth that, like, you like it ends up having an effect on you.
I like a lot of these Web3 projects I talk to. They talk a lot more than, say, Web2 projects um, about the emotional and spiritual well-being of people and taking care of themselves and just personal wellness. And I really like that too, because in this world where, we can work long hours, we always have our computers with us. I think it's important to remind everyone to stop and breathe and take care of themselves and their health and be good to themselves. So I love hearing more and more projects talking about that and taking care of their members like that. So again, round of applause to Hyyp Cartel for emphasizing that. Another thing that you mentioned earlier was getting involved in local communities. And I think when people talk Web3, because it is such a global industry and everyone's remote, and I think a lot of people think it's all online, 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 but it's really important. You can still focus on your local communities, and you should still focus on your local communities. These are your neighbors and your friends, the people you live among. And I think that's important to emphasize too. A lot of people talk about their global communities and their Web3 ecosystem, which of course is important in what we're talking about here, because we can do so much good by connecting with people that otherwise we wouldn't have the opportunity to. But I'm really glad that you mentioned local communities as well.
Absolutely, yes. The idea is not to do just impact on the Web3, but also on our communities. Like I said, one of the social impact types that we want to tackle is doing something with your hands, and actually having the habit of going somewhere and helping, even if it's not effective, even if there would be an easier and more effective way of helping, and doing something like for less time. But I don't know, it's also about actually getting yourself to get there, to do the thing. Nadim actually said, we were talking the other day, and he gave an example. For example, a doctor serving soup, and maybe a more effective way to use his time and his skills would be like doing surgery, but it's still he's still doing the social impact with his hands. Like, even if it's not that effective, it still has an impact, and it's equally important.
Showing up, just showing up is a big part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which I also really like, because that is, that's a big part of the battle, I think, is just getting people to show up, leave their house, go see some people and do their thing. So I think that's great. Work with your hands and serve your communities.
Exactly. It is one of the hardest habits to build and one of the easiest to forget about. Because I don't know, maybe you can do something and instead you're like, oh well, I'm actually too busy today, or I'm tired and I'm gonna do it tomorrow, and you end up forgetting about it. So really getting to train it and make it a habit and make it something continuous. That is the goal.
I like that. I also really like that I hear birds chirping in the background.
Yeah.
Um, I'm in the middle of winter in Maine, so there are no birds chirping. It just sounds lovely where you are. And you're in Argentina, right?
I am in Argentina, getting excited for the match on Sunday.
All right. Yeah,
Very,
our team has been very yeah, very involved with the World Cup, always watching.
yeah, no, I'm not really much of a soccer fan, but when it comes to the World Cup and the national team, I get very involved. I was joking. I was joking with someone I was speaking earlier, that I made an altar for the national team. Quite literally, I printed pictures, and it worked. So I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna complain.
You're going to take credit for that. I like that.
I absolutely will.
That's great. Yeah, we one of our team members is Moroccan, and so he's been super excited, and he actually just flew home, and but he said the energy there has been amazing, and it was just so cool to be home, when they were playing and doing so well. So
Um,
sad that
um,
they're out, but it was
yeah,
amazing
Morocco
to
did
watch
so
them.
well,
Yeah.
so well, and it really is a different, like, not just soccer, but really any sport. The energy that you live, that you experience, being there on the field. I've always wanted to go to a soccer match live, because it is another thing. Like, really, the energy that transfers and that mixes from everyone. It's incredible.
Yeah, I've never been to one, but I agree. I would love to attend one. It seems like it'd be really fun and yeah, the energy behind it. So since Hype Cartel is not officially a DAO, do you have any like governance or anything within the DAO? Proposals? Are people writing proposals for what kind of projects that they would like to include in the initiatives? Or how does that work?
We do. So, on the app, there's going to be, we want to have a system for voting and counting on the app, whether that's for the proposal. The idea is that everyone will be able to propose whatever they want, and if the people who like it and who want to participate can do it, and if they don't, uh, they simply don't participate in that. Um, and if there's ever, like, if they're not getting the enough attention, that's where we do the votings and the decisions. Um, right now, since we don't have that much to vote on, because we're making the social impact, the initiative that we're building, we're doing it through a survey. But the kind of like the channel that we're using is the Hyyp Cats. So we try to channel the will of the OGs and the will of the Hyyp Cats. And if anyone has an initiative they'd like to propose, they bring it to us, and we try to bring that vision into life. And we make it together along with the OGs. And but eventually, on the app, we're going to have this voting system, kind of like a weighted voting, where the Hyyp Gods and Nadim will have a weighted vote, the earlier OGs will have a weighted vote, and then the OGs that have joined, that are more in the 5,000, will have a vote. But again, it's going to be kind of like sort of like a hierarchy. uh, but when it comes to the financial decisions, and the money decisions, that is where Nadim and the Hyyp Gods will not have a weighted vote. That is where you want the people to actually do the decisions. But when it comes to the more, to the culture decisions, to the management, that's what the Hyyp Gods are for. But really, we're kind of doing it together along with the OGs. The Hyyp Gods are kind of like this connector between Nadim and the OGs, and the the physical, um, outcome.
Yeah. It sounds kind of like a hybrid of a DAO in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will the proposals happen on the app as well?
Yes. So
Okay.
on the app, you will have like departments, where you can propose initiatives, or you can propose them outside of the departments, and then people can participate. And and they can participate on different levels of the initiative.
Okay. I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. These spaces go so fast and we are running short on time now. But any last shout outs? What's happening? Initiatives that you want to, just any shout outs before I cut you loose.
Well, first of all, I want to shout out all of the Hyyp squad who is here. I see some familiar faces, so thank you so much for being here. For anyone else who is not yet a Hyyp member, our DMs are always open, and you can feel free to reach out with any questions or anything. I'm Mica, by the way, and I'm always there to answer your questions, to talk to you, and if you'd like to to be a member of Hyyp, let us know, and we can send an invite and arrange a meeting. We do these meetings before we officially welcome to Hyyp, so that we can talk and get to know each other. So that's always nice. And one of the the most exciting things going on for Hyyp right now is that initiative that we're organizing, the app, which we're testing every day, and it's looking good. And pretty soon we're going to invite the OGs to test it with us. Um, what else? And I mean, on the personal side, I'm very passionate about any initiatives that have to do with the environment, with animal rights, and with opportunities for women and queer communities. But really, any kind of social impact is is needed and is valid, and it's something that I would definitely participate in.
I love it. I love that. I love everything Hyyp Cartel is focused on right now. Listeners, definitely check them out. Doing really good stuff, and it's just gonna go up from here. So give them a follow on Twitter. You can just click on the PFP right here. Go check out hyypcartel.com online. Again, the artwork is great, the initiatives are great, and keep an eye out for that app. Mica, again, a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you for informing me and our listeners more about Hyyp Cartel and what you're focused on.
Thank you. It's really been a pleasure to talk to you. And thank you so much for the invite, for the opportunity, and look forward to seeing you again and talking to you. And thank you everyone for joining today and bearing with me while I babble about the things that I'm passionate about.
Not at all. No babbling. It was fantastic, super interesting, and I'm sure everyone enjoyed it. So, yes, thank you everyone for joining, and tune back in next week for our Twitter space. Mica, have a fantastic rest of your day and keep crushing it out there.
You too. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye. Take care. Bye, everyone.